Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmate. So, we are the reporters. Our topic is about direct or lecture method. So, first, direct instruction or method is a teacher directed teaching method. This means that the teacher stands in front of a classroom and present the information. The teacher gives explicit guided instruction to the student. So direct method is a way where the teacher is on direct teaching where it does not give any objectives to the students. So it aims the student learn how to communicate using target language. In this situation, the teacher wants a direct lesson, and students need to participate in order to them to benefit both teacher and the learners. The interaction goes both way. The skills emphasized here was listening, speaking, reading, and writing. To understand it easily, the direct instruction or method is where the teacher enters the classroom and starts the lesson. So here's the 6 steps of direct instruction.
The 6 steps in direct instructions are introducing materials that is used to activate students' prior knowledge. So when we say prior knowledge is the learner is already has an information about the topic before they learn the information about that topic. So this is for the students to learn new informations and to start learning to a new topic. So as a future educator, it helps our students to construct the connection, rather to construct connections between old and new knowledge. Next is presenting new materials where students begin to learn with step by step. So as a future educator, we have to present new materials to our students for them to begin to learn, or we have to guide them for them to learn step by step. Next is guiding students where teachers can correct mistakes early on and reteach materials if needed. So we have to guide our students. So as a teacher, we have to correct them if they have mistakes. So for the for them to check or to correct their mistakes and reteach the materials if needed. Next is providing feedbacks, where teachers give students an indicator of their performance. So we have to provide feedback about their output or about their activity. So so as a teacher, we have to give our students to indicate about their performance. Next is practicing independently, where students individually apply the skills that they've gained. So we have to practice them to do it by selves, so they can apply their skills on what they have learned about or what they have learned to us as their teacher. Next is evaluating, where students are tested on what they've learned. So we have to evaluate our students. So we can know, or we have to practice them about the discussions, or we have to evaluate their performance. So we have to test about the skills or what they have learned to us as their teacher, or what they have learned during during the discussion.
Lecture method is a teaching method where an instructor is the central focus of information transfer. It is a mode or planned scheme devised by the instructor for presenting a topic to the audience through lecturing, aiming to attain specific teaching learning objectives. Ang lecture method ay kontrolado ng guro o diskarte na nakasentro sa pagtuturo sa mga tagapakinig o silid-aralan. Sa pamamaraang ito, Ang tanging guro ang nagsasalita at ang estudyante ay makikinig lamang.
So here's the 7 stages of giving a lecture. So first, give a short introduction by providing the rationale. It means that providing rationale or reason is where the student thinks to clear up the lesson and will be preparing or need an advanced study in order to them to have a background knowledge to the next topic or lesson. Second, explain the objectives. So, explain the objective is necessary when giving a lecture. The student would understand what will their task for today's lesson. Third, present the lesson. From giving and explaining the objectives, of course, the teacher should present the lesson first before doing the task. Fourth, develop the lesson by explaining, illustrating it with diagrams if appropriate, or giving concrete examples. So, in order to the student to clear up the lesson, it should need to give an example to the students to understand more the lesson. Giving them a concrete example will give them an idea how to create or make it on their own way. Fifth, give application of the lesson. After the lecture and understand the topic, it is also necessary to apply it, to show what will the topic all about, and also teacher can give a task to the students for them to apply also to themselves. 6. Check for understanding by eliciting feedback. So after the lesson, the teacher should be more flexible in terms of the understanding of the student. So the teacher should expect a feedback from the student of what they understand and opinion from the topic. And last, entertain questions and recap the lesson. After the lesson, the teacher should entertain the questions of the student for the clarification of the lesson and recap the lesson to the student to assure what the student understand in the whole time of lesson. So next, the advantages and disadvantage of direct method. So the advantage of this is first, the focus is on oral practice. Therefore, the pronunciation improves. Number 2, in teaching vocabulary such as words, idioms, this method is good. Third, as there is direct relation between thought and expression, it helps the learners in having good fluency. Using direct method, a teacher helps students having good command over English. Fourth, in this method, the teacher proceeds from particular to general and from concrete to abstract. Fifth, it makes the teaching English easier and more pleasant. A teacher uses various images, pictures to illustrate his or her point. 6. This method creates the suitable environment for learning English language. 7. As the unit of speech in direct method is a sentence, students learn to speak complete sentences without any hesitation, so they can get confidence command over good English. And for the disadvantages, first, owing to overemphasis on oral practice, the other skills, namely reading and writing, are ignored to a great extent. Second, average and below average students, especially from rural background, find difficulty to grasp the things taught via this method. Third, this is an expensive method as the teacher is to use some aids for teaching. Fourth, for this method, competent teacher must be there, but there is a dearth of good English teachers in the country. Incompetent teachers can't use this method successfully. Number 5, in the early stage of learning, this method is completely unsuccessful. 6, the background at home must also be foreign language friendly for this method. The student whose parents can speak English will get more benefit from this method. So let's proceed the advantages and disadvantages of the lecture method. The reasons the lecture method is popular are obvious. Right or wrong, people believe that lectures have these advantages. First, lectures are the cultural norm of adult education. Second, lecture inflate the trainer's ego. Third, lecture do not require extensive preparation. Fourth, lecture permit efficient coverage of content in a limited time. Fifth, lecture can reach a large group at the same time. Sixth, great lecturers inspire their listeners. 7. Lecturers can predict exactly what will happen during their speech. 8. Lecturers believe they are in control. 9th, learners do not feel threatened while listening passively. And 10th, learners know how to listen and take notes. 11th, learners do not waste their time sharing their ignorance with each other.